my fucking Honda
Can I
Civic.
drive you home tonight?
Yeah, it's like, so there's like 2 accidents that occurred that was just like back to back within 4 days that weren't my fault that just destroyed my, like somebody's out against my Honda
holy
Civic.
shit.
Yeah. This kid was super nice. He's 20 years old. It's the first accident he's ever had, and he's just like freaking out. He got cited for it. They said it was his fault, even though I was like, hey, no, it was this lady that cut us off. It's technically her fault, but not my fault, so they cited him. Mm-hmm. And so I'm trying to tell him, I was like, if you set a court date, I'll go to the court with you, and I'll plead for you to say it wasn't your fault, because I got the license plate of the woman that did it.
You're a good man.
Jeez, yeah.
I would have been like, okay, I got out of this one.
Yeah.
I mean, kid, you're probably on your parents' insurance anyways.
I was stopped at a light, technically. I mean, I was stopped just sitting there waiting for this lady who just cut everybody off, go through, and then got rear-ended.
Oh. Isn't that the rule whenever like a rear ending happens, it's always the rear ender's fault?
Pretty much. Because they said that you're supposed to, because in cases of like, let's say I had slammed on my brake, you're supposed to leave enough safe distance, and you shouldn't be speeding. That would force you to do something like that. So yeah, I mean, I immediately walked back, made sure he was okay, and then that van just started to slowly pull away, and that's when I ran after the car to get their freaking license.
Ask you this: Do you think we could corner the market on safe driving podcasts and like sell it to like Nationwide or like State Farm or something, where we just talk about like rules of the road and like
God, that would be the most boring. Your wife has been quiet this whole time and has your wife barely listens to the podcast now, let alone to the safe driving podcast.
You could be like, hey, well, you have to give us 5 seconds. We're about to go into the safe driving podcast portion of our podcast.
Yeah,
so,
we'll pilot.
You guys can bounce if you want, but stay if you want to learn some more about safe driving.
I'm thinking we could call it "I Saw the Sign."
Oh man!
Don't we have like Russian listeners though? Like, I feel like the driving's crazy over there. We might get to expand our audience.
Why don't you chime in there?
How do you know that?
Haven't you ever seen videos of like crazy Russian drivers? That's a thing on the internet.
No.
I can't say that I've looked that up.
Can't say I've ever done that or bothered.
Can you find us a video?
Of a crazy Russian driver?
I mean, you could put...
Well, they're apparently just all over the fucking internet.
Crazy blank driver, you'll get anything.
You probably will, yeah.
I like you said that lady ran the yellow light. I like to think of it as challenging.
No. It was a blinking light. It was a blinking yellow light, like a caution one. So she was turning.
So you got to treat it like a stop sign. You got to treat that shit like a stop sign.
No, we're allowed to continue going through it. It's a 4-lane highway, and she was cutting off 2 lanes of traffic. So not only did I have to
blinking
stop,
red light you treat like
blinking red. This was a blinking yellow. She was trying to turn into our lane and cross into St. Anne's Hospital, and so she had cut off 2, like me, who I just stopped and was like, "What are you doing?" And she saw me yelling. I went like this. And then the lady next to me had to stop as well while she just cut off 2 people in heavy traffic. And then as I was like 2 seconds later, I got rear-ended.
What would you have done if you got out of the car and you talked to this 20-year-old, okay, and you spied in his back seat, the back seat of his car, just a stack of ashtrays? And you were like, wait a minute. And you found out that he was the guy. And there's one of your lug nuts from your tire.
The Ash Dasher Crasher.
The Ash Dasher Crasher. This guy has been out to after me, though. I would have to be like, what is up? What's your deal, man, against me? It's jealousy at that point. It'd be jealousy. He would want to be me if he was doing that much.
Maybe he does.
Let's
have him on the show. Okay.
I can give him I have his phone number. You want me to call him? No, that would be awesome.
He's in a bad mood. I seen a movie. I seen Mother. Have you guys?
I heard it was terrible.
I don't know what to say about it. Have you heard of this, Blev? Mother?
I've heard of it, but I have no desire to see it.
Okay, so I don't know. Kendall and I saw it the other night, and I can't honestly say that it is a movie that I would recommend. Kendall, would you recommend this movie?
The problem is I have a hard time answering that question, so I feel like that should be a no.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of where I'm at, too. So it's an allegory. Spoilers. By the way, spoilers. I'm about to spoil the movie, not in a way that will spoil any plot elements, because there really wasn't a plot. Frankly, there was not a plot. But it's an allegory. Okay? It's an allegory. Do you know what that means? What's going on over here, guys? There's a lot of action. There's a lot of...
Mother.
Oh.
Allegory.
You guys actually saw it?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Okay.
that mean
sorry.
it's like...
I'm late.
All right. So listen. So Mother.
I want to see it.
Okay.
It's on my board, my dry erase board.
I'm not going to spoil it, but you're going to want to know what I'm about to tell you, or you're not going to like it. I promise. And it's not something that.
No.
Okay, so it's an allegory. Are we familiar with what that means? Because like I was told that it's an
think it's
allegory,
an
and I didn't
antique
actually know what that
boat.
means.
No,
It's an antique boat.
I'm trying to think of an example when I can't, but isn't that where it like represents something else?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Well done. And so,
Well done. Well, you're like a professor over here. Well done.
well done, Tom. So it's an allegory where Javier Bardem
The hidden meeting.
is God, Jennifer Lawrence is Mother Nature, and the house they live in is Earth. So go into it with that, and I think you're going to enjoy the movie way more knowing that. They don't make that obvious. They say in like an interview with like the filmmakers or something, they're like, oh, by the end it's super obvious. It would not have been obvious. There was this guy next to us, and right when the credits started rolling, he was like, what the fuck did I just watch? And so like that honestly would be your reaction if you didn't know that it was an allegory
fuck
and you
did I just watch?
didn't know that that's what the allegory was. But knowing that, maybe it's a little bit more interesting, but I still don't know if I'd recommend it. I don't know. I
mean,
didn't dislike it, I guess.
I've actually been trying to. So I live right down the street from a movie theater, and I've been.
Best movie theater in Columbus.
It's the best one.
Marcus
That's where we
Theater.
saw it.
Marcus
That's where we went.
on
Marcus Theater.
Hutchison Road in Worthington, Ohio.
There's a lot of Marcuses around.
in Worthington, Ohio.
You're welcome,
No, I'm just
Marcus,
saying-
for
I'm
your
just saying-
free advertising.
I'm just saying in general.
It's
Marcus
it's
is
the
on
best
East
one,
Coast.
and I've gone several times by myself to see a movie. I saw Wonder Woman by myself, saw Alien Covenant by myself. I've seen It 3 times, so I've seen two of those by myself. I've just been trying to get going on my own to see movies, and I know Kirsten doesn't want to see that movie, and I don't think I'm going to convince anybody else to see it. Definitely not Buddy to go see that movie with me.
Is it scary?
No.
No.
Oh, I just don't.
It's
I guess I don't
intense.
particularly want to see it.
Buddy, you saw the one movie, that one movie with that what was it called that you saw with me and Kirsten? That was like
The Revenant?
no, you thought The Revenant was scary.
A little. It was just
So
suspenseful.
you cannot handle Mother.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
If you can't, yeah, that's a good point. But no, in all honesty, you probably couldn't because The Revenant was intense and Mother was intense, I would say.
Less than
I really.
You don't.
I was turned off by the preview for Mother, where they're like, "Remember where you are, where you saw this movie," and stuff like that. It seemed like they were trying too hard.
They are trying way too hard with the marketing.
Yeah, so I
For
just
sure.
turned me off.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. I know, and it was actually flipped because the critics liked it and the audiences didn't. Really, it's usually the other way around.
I'm looking up what the Rotten
I
Tomatoes
think the
is.
critics
Do you know?
knew it was an allegory going in, and like the other like tips I guess that you got that it was going to be an allegory was, have you seen in the marketing like the title of the film is lowercase Mother with an exclamation point, and so like when you see the cast list at the end of it, they're all names like her and him. But the only thing that's capitalized is him, and it's Javier Bardem's character. And so they're like, well, that's very obvious that that's God. And I'm like, I guess. Like,
How's
but
that obvious?
that's
Are you
not that
kidding?
obvious. You really got to
Totally
make some
obvious.
jumps.
It's got 67% on Rotten Tomatoes,
That's a
but
shit movie.
47% audience. So
Yeah,
yeah, you're kind
it's
of
a
right.
really
The critics
shit
like
movie.
that.
Don't, I know I was right. You didn't
What
need
the
to double
fuck
check
did I
my
just
words.
That guy was really funny. He's like, what the fuck did I just watch? It's pretty good.
I know. I'm going to give it a
shit.
shot, and I want to see Jigsaw, Snowman. I can't remember.
You
their
excited
family
about
name.
Jigsaw? I'm
Why
not-
are you saying
More
it
so
like
than
that?
Snowman.
I'm really excited about it.
What if we did an entire episode like that? Do you think we'd lose
No.
listeners?
No.
Why do you
I think
keep
we-
wanting to change your wife just told us before
I'm
this thing started that
format
we're getting
crazy.
better.
Yeah.
You just want to change it already.
Thanks, sweetie. We're getting better. Okay. But you're excited about Jigsaw. That's something you
Yeah.
want to see.
I always like the original. I like the original.
They got
too.
off the rails.
They did get off the rails, and regardless, I like the
They're hopping back on the
interest.
train tracks?
Even though the story got a little funky and weird and even stupid,
That's funky. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm fucking crazy tonight.
but
I don't know.
I thought the creativity of like the torture and the intricacies of like how they're all intertwined, I think is really cool. And since this is a reboot, it's almost like we can wash away the shitty 5 that came after the first 2. And even though they were still there, it's like, hey, let's start from scratch, and you guys don't have to worry about intertwining it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Where does this one fall?
This is
like
this
way
is
after?
10 years after the Jigsaw Killer.
After he dies?
After he's dead. Yeah.
Which one did he die in?
He died in the third one.
Okay. It's
Spoiler
probably
alert.
been about 10 years. That's
Yes.
the third one, right?
Yeah, I went on a date with my girlfriend
So that's what you've been up
to
to?
see that movie. No, that's not what I've
So,
been.
so who's next with that? Who's next with what have you been up to?
What have you been up to, Blair?
I went to see a concert recently, Glass Animals at
Hey, I was
Express
there too.
Live.
Where were
were?
you? Yeah.
Yeah, see, somebody likes the Glass Animals here.
They're really good.
Oh man, they're amazing live. It was awesome. It was just
I want to
crazy
be
how many
clear
people
that
were
I
there.
don't dislike the glass. You feel like I'm shitting on the Glass Animals. The Glass Animals are fine. They're a sponsor of the show. What I'm saying is like they're just chill music, and
No,
I
they
think
are,
it'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
great to listen to at work.
Yeah.
I've said nothing but nice things.
I know,
I just
just kidding.
I can't stop making their sounds. We're like
Boom, boom, boom.
I can't imagine that's anything like what they sound like. I've never heard of the band.
check it. That's spot on.
Oh, and I also got my hands on FIFA 18, which has been awesome. Playing Ultimate Team, spending boatloads of money like
Now,
an
does
idiot.
your ultimate team transfer from 17?
No, that's the only thing that
So you're
sucks.
starting square one.
So that's in with any Ultimate Team. So even like with Madden or any other or baseball or whatever, when you do an Ultimate Team or even basketball, the cards don't transfer over. The coins do though. So that's why you want to sell all your cards in the old one before the new one comes out. Then you have more coin. And you
oh,
go,
that's pretty cool.
Well, that's their hot tip from
Hot
Lev.
tip. Sell your
Before you
coin.
hit
Sell your
FIFA
coins.
2018.
I got NBA 2K18
well, yeah.
for
Oh, I got-
Switch.
Which version? The $1 million version, the $50,000 version, or the $60 version?
The $60 version.
Yeah,
I got it.
$1 million version.
I had a trip for work last week. I'm gonna have a lot of trips for work coming up. So I think I'd mentioned on a previous show, like I'm excited to try Switch and get some cool games on it because it'll be convenient. NBA is really fun on it. It works really well, but I'm still constantly reminded of how far behind I am in NBA video games. Like, god damn, they're complex. Like, is Madden as complex as that?
Yes, I think it's way more complex than an NBA game.
Really? Is that
Yeah.
just because I play it so much that
Probably.
like I just understand it?
Like, dude, when we were over at your old apartment, and you were like, "Oh, let's play Madden," and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna suck ass at this game," and I was terrible. And then we played NHL, and I was like, "Thank God we switched from that." 'cause
See, yeah, like I guess like proficiency wise, like I'm very good at Madden without thinking about it because like I've just played it so long. NHL, I feel like like I'm okay enough at it, but I still want to play it like it's an arcade game, and I
Yeah.
make it that way.
Like, I'm so used to Madden being an arcade game.
Yeah.
Where the old one in like '99 and 2000.
You gotta know, like,
Yeah.
all right, it's this down. I
What
better
is
use,
going on
like,
over
I don't
here?
know, they're losing their
They're
shit.
losing. Wyatt's gone.
They're,
We lost Wyatt.
I think this has to do with their game, Wyatt's game. This that's coming up
Yeah,
later.
that's
in the
coming
show.
up later though.
But like, I realized that by like playing an NBA game, I know nothing about basketball.
Yeah.
Like I actually know nothing about running an offense in basketball. Like
I know
outside of fifth grade
I
basketball.
know how to play football. I know football, but it's so away from the arcade version where you just hit X to fucking hike the ball. Look at the receiver who's open, and that's it. And it's like you tap the ball, you tap the corresponding button that fits that receiver.
Madden to me is more like a real time strategy game.
That's what I'm
than
saying.
anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
Like it's not really as reactionary, especially when on defense. My God.
Yeah, honestly, to be successful in Madden is not your offense; it's how well you are at defense.
Yeah.
And defense is the harder aspect of the game. So if you're good at
and the
defense,
least fun, arguably.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're good at defense, then you're probably gonna be pretty good at the game.
I don't know. It's just hard for me because I like fast paced and easy to play. Something that can just take my mind that I don't have to really think too hard about. Just that's why I like first person shooters. It's like it's a removal of like the current environment I'm in and maybe if I had a shitty day, I want to play a video game or something that's fast paced that I don't really have to focus or have strategy behind. But if I really wanted to do that, I would do it. But
And I feel that way about like that's what I wanted NBA to be like because
Yeah.
I'm taking it with me when I travel for work and I want to like get back to my hotel room and like play some NBA or whatever, go to the hotel bar and play some NBA on my Switch. Like that's the beauty of the Switch, the promise of the Switch.
Yeah.
But it's still such a complex game. There's like a huge learning curve to it. I'm like literally
Especially
sitting
on the
there
Switch,
playing
though.
the tutorials. Like I can't say the last time I like seeked out the tutorials in a video game to like really learn how to play it and stuff. And I'm like
Yeah.
shooting basics and like learning how to dribble and how to cross over and stuff. It's like damn, like it's like the first time I've ever played this thing.
is it weird to hold the Switch and play? on
No,
the go?
it's awesome. It looks so good too. It's so smooth on Switch, and like I guess this
How's
is
it
like
feel
something
in
I
your
wanted to talk
hands?
about with you guys too. It's like we talk about like are these games, these sports games that are coming out and stuff like. Is this the start of something cool for the Switch, where there's going to start to be like a lot of ports that are just
What would be-
graphically less impressive, but
Can
still
you-
play
can you
as well?
Can you play peer to peer without being plugged into each other?
Yeah, Yeah,
Oh,
like
you
the
can?
Switch offered. Yes,
Okay.
yeah, the
Because
Switch
that would be
offers
really
that.
fucking cool.
So like if Buddy brought his Switch over, Y brought their Switch over or something, and like
no, like say you're just like on the train. You hop on a train or airplane or whatever, and you're playing it, and the guy